can somebody truly recognize the punarjanmam of someone who has previously passed away?
Punarjanmam, rebirth, reincarnation. This is yet another important concept of Sanatana Dharma. Now, what is this incarnation, reincarnation? We say it is because of karma. No? Now we have performed many karmas. Those karmas are there in our minds as karma phalas. We call it samskaras or vasanas. The habitual potencies of the karmas. These technical terms I used for samskara. Habitual potencies. After performing a karma, its impact on our mind, a reflection like impact on our mind. And this impact is processed there as we take a photo of outside objects, and the memory of that mobile or the camera, it takes that memory as the reflection of that process or the effect of that process, and it keeps there. Similarly, when we perform a karma, the after effect of karma, the reflection of karma in our mind is called karma phalas, or we call it samskara or vasana. Now, we perform many kinds of karmas. Out of those karmas, among those karma phalas, some karma phalas can be experienced in this birth by this body. But there are some other kinds of karmas which cannot be experienced in this body. For example, now if you don't believe in Swargam and Naragam, no other worlds and like that, it's okay. For example, we can take, you want to fly like a bird. You want to become a bird and fly. You did some karma for that because you like to fly, and that cannot be experienced by this body, because the human body cannot fly. Human body can get only air ticket and go by air. That much we can do. That is okay, but directly flying is not. It is not possible by this birth, by this body. Now, you are desiring for that particular performance, particular karma phala. You like to fly. Anybody can like that, if you want to fly. And that karma and phala is not possible in this birth. Therefore, that will be remained in your body, in your mind as karma phala. That's samskara, because you want to fly. As I said, you desire to fly. your desire is very strong, you performed it, you practiced it, then that is there and it will come after this birth. Now, why we say this? It is so interesting why we say this. This is very normal process of mind. If you understand that normal process of mind, you can accept there is another birth too. Like we do some karmas in the daytime, those karmas are not complete. Like we started some karma, but it is not completed in one day. We need many days. After starting that karma, we go to sleep. Okay. While we are sleeping, when we are in deep sleep, what happens to those karmas? Those karmas are not there. It means you are not remembering what you started and now in which level it reached, or what you want to do, or how you want to complete. Nothing is there in your sleep. Completely, all the karmas and the connection of those karmas are disconnected, completely disconnected. Therefore, you could sleep. You just think, if you remember all those, daily performance, I want to do that, I want to do that. So, how can you sleep if you remember all those? So, it means it is disconnected. Now, if I ask, if you disconnect all this, you forgot everything, for 6-7 hours, there is no karma for you. Nothing is connected. But after waking up, again you are continuing that karma from the point where you left it, where you stopped it. From there you start. You are writing an article, you stopped it in page number 3, and the next day you start with page number 4. So it continues. Now, while you are sleeping, what happened to that article, the ideas of the continuity of the article? It was disconnected. But you could continue as just half an hour before you stopped it and then you continued. No, like we stopped it for a tea break and we are continuing it. Like that we are continuing it. For many days, after many days we complete that article. So this is something wonder. If you understand, you can understand all the karmas. Because we stopped the karma, that particular action for a while for sleep. Okay. Now the action was performed by brain. Now we change mind into brain just for the sake of our discussion, understanding. And that same brain decided to sleep. Then the other actions all disappeared. Brain itself removed all those, stopped all those. Then the brain let you sleep for 6 hours. Then when you wake up, again the brain connected all other things together. Then you continued it. So now one brain is doing all these actions. It is bringing things and making it disappear, and again it is bringing. It continues for whole life. In between, sometimes we see dreams we go to another worlds and see dreams. Even then the previous action will continue. The question is how the previous karma or previous things are connected, how we can call it as a new birth, punarjanma. If we could understand the process of brain in this matter, in this way, the same thing will continue after birth also. So the only difference, after sleep we wake up because of the karmas left. But after death, it goes to next birth. It takes little more time, but the brain and the system will continue the same as you experienced in your sleep. Now, the problem with this is there is no scientific proof to prove that you continue this. Therefore, we have to use the logic here. And nobody can prove it. No science, no mission can prove it, because they can prove how the brain works. They can measure the brain waves and all the functions of my brain. It is happening. But there is no mission, no method, no formula, no scientific research succeeded in understanding the mind. So what is mind? Now in our theory, the mind is different from the brain. Brain is a functional, what we say, the place where mind functions. Like eye and eyesight is different. What we see is eye, but eyesight is different from this, no? And your seeing process is yet different from the eyesight. So that is happening in brain. So you cannot see eyesight and the process of seeing, but you can see the eye. This is how it happens. Like that, you cannot see the brain, you cannot understand, you cannot see the mind, but you can see the functions of the brain, how it functions. Similarly, it happens. Now, when we go to sleep, we can't say we lost everything. Can we say that? No, we have not lost anything. Only one function of brain stopped, another function started. The waking state, the function of waking state, or the process of mind, what we call as a practical mind, empirical mind. So the empirical mind stopped, the conscious mind stopped. Now conscious mind is not working. Actually conscious mind is sleeping, and subconscious mind, unconscious mind is still working. So this unconscious mind carries all the informations. So those informations are there. Accordingly, it will give the karma phalas. So similarly, when we die, it means when we leave this body. Why we leave this body? Because now this body is not functional. Body is damaged, irreparable. You cannot repair it. Doctors cannot repair it, replace it. So the Atma will leave this body. It says, no, now I can't repair it, let it go. So we take another body. So that just stop this body and leave this body here, and then the relatives take that body and to smashanam and do their kriyas, and then the Atma goes to another body. Actually, dying is a good thing. Why? Because we get new cloth, new body, and vasamsi jirnani yada vihaya navani grinnadi naroparani. Therefore, we should not cry for the dying person. Actually, we should celebrate. Like you got a new house, what do? House warming ceremony. No, you celebrate it. When you newly marry, every year you celebrate it, marriage anniversary. Somebody is, the child, newborn child, for that we celebrate it. This is also for the cause of celebration. It is there because that person is going to get a new body, a healthy body, very beautiful body, lovely body. He is going to get in any of the spaces you may be getting in some other lives, but he is going to get a new body. So that is a good thing, no? But unfortunately, this attachment, what you told, we discussed in the morning. In India also, in India, in many places, in many tribes, they celebrate death. It's there. I participated in one program. They celebrate it. In Tamil Nadu also, it is there. They also celebrate it. Actually, that is the right way. In Africa, in South Africa, in many places, they have a big function. They keep the body there and they dance and laugh and drink. They do all the parties there in front of that body. And there is a rule, you should not cry. They laugh, loudly laugh. You see, that's a culture. Now, why we are crying? You know why we are? What is the reason for crying? Attachment. That is the reason. If you think about the person who left the body, for him that is good because he is going to get a new world. That is the thing. And if we think only this is the life stops here, then there is a reason for crying. Because after that they cannot drink, they cannot leave, they cannot eat ice cream, like that we think. So then that's a big loss. But if they get a better body, so therefore pray for that. So this is how the karma continues. Only the birth and death is for this physical body. For karmic body, what we call is a sukshma sharira, karmic body, there is no birth, no death, only continuation like day and night, sleep and waking state. So this is just continuing like that. It is not my words. In Upanishad, it is said, Yatha swapne tatha pitraloke Jayasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mridasya cha tasmad apariharyarthe natvam shochitum arhati. No, you see, Bhagavad Gita says, we all chant Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavan says, natvam shochitum arhasi. There is no reason why you should cry. Kutaha, what the reason is, jadasya hi dhruvo mrityu. We know that who took birth is going to die. Jadasya hi dhruvo mrityu. It cannot be changed. Therefore, okay, if you want to cry, you can cry for some time. But understand, this actually what is happening is leaving the place. Now, I have done some research, and my friends, and they did some research on this, because out of body experience and so many things are there, and we also had some experience like that. Then we try to know the person who left the body, left the family, he is connecting with this family again, or he remember this family, his friends, or not. But almost all the research say, after leaving this body, he has no connection. He's separate. He's just gone. He is not remembering his previous name, previous family, previous friends, nothing. Because he is getting another world, he is another person there. Even people who are settled in America or in a different world, because most of your families are in different worlds. So after many years, yes, sometimes they remember their parents, their hometown or village. No, if they get some chance to remember. Otherwise, they are engaged there. They don't worry about what is happening here. So even in this world, in this earth, it's like that. If you go beyond the earth, because beyond earth means there the time and space, everything changes. Even quantum physics says that. The velocity and everything changes. So you are in a different world. There is no coming back in that form. So now the another one logic or experience we can bring here as an example is some people, they remember their previous birth. Very special kind of people. They remember their previous birth. It is very special. Sometimes it happens. So then they could find their previous family and they go there, and there are so many stories. Now there are so many books written on this subject. Actually it is happening. We cannot deny it. It is also possible. We are not remembering it because the system stopped. There is a stoppage for that. So we are not connecting with the previous birth. But if we try to understand our previous birth, it is quite possible we can understand. We can recognize our previous birth and tendencies. The previous tendencies what we had. There is a technique in Jyotishastram to understand the previous birth. In Tibetan Buddhism, they have a technique to understand the previous birth. They use some techniques to understand that. That is because seeing the person's tendency, they connect with the previous life. So it is possible. Therefore, there is birth, rebirth. Now we all accept birth and rebirth. There is no problem. If people who are not accepting it, for them we have another way of teaching how we should accept rebirth. So it will come as karma and karma phala. Now why rebirth should come? If you don't want rebirth, it won't come. You want birth, you want to enjoy more and more. Therefore, God is blessings are there or upon you to take rebirth, because He is so kind that He is giving away your own desires, your own bhogas, your own experiences to you because you wanted it. So if you don't want the next birth, you don't want to take another birth, then take Vairagya, Nirmoha, Nischala Tattvam, then meditate on that, then you can stop rebirth. Punaravi Maranam, Punaravi Jananam will not be there. Okay.
Past life regression also. Past life regression.
Yeah.
You are able to remember?
Yeah, it is possible. There are techniques. In yoga also there are techniques. In Jyotisham there are techniques. Like Nadi Jyotisham. There is a system on Jyotisham. Nadi Jyotisham it is called. They just calculate and tell you where you were and how you came here and all the stories perfectly. Your name, previous name and this bird's name, and all the activities and everything, what you did, where you were, and all those they will say. And in this, there are so many other tests, all in Jyotisham. There is one test called Vriddharuna Surya Karma Vibhaga. Vriddharuna Surya Karma Vibhaga, some test is there. In that also it says, if you know your birth Rashi, all those, if you know, you can find out your thing. It's not a big thing. And after all, why we want this? This is the main thing. Why we should know? What is the use of knowing that the next birth or the previous birth? Just be in this birth and do good karmas and enjoy this life and remove all the troubles and bondages and be free. So next birth, it will come automatically if you have done good deeds. It's going to give you the effect. That's like, yeah.